Hello everyone, this is my Australian note typeset folder and we'll quickly have a look at it and I'll tell you a quick story behind all the notes. Hopefully you like it. On the February 14 of 1966, Australia was exchanging pre-decimal note with a decimal. These are examples of pre-decimal. Let's have a look at the decimal note. So these were the notes released in 1966 and they came out with Commonwealth of Australia on top of it, right there. So this note is not from 1966, it's just an example of what it looked like. And you can see Commonwealth of Australia on this side as well. Then in 1974, Australia changed their currency from Commonwealth of Australia to Australia, as you can see right there. It's the same note, just that was the only difference. Then the same deal with the $2 note. These are the two examples of Commonwealth of Australia and Australia. Look, in the $5, you had the same deal, Commonwealth of Australia and Australia. I just don't have Commonwealth of Australia to show you. So we're just looking at what I have. There are different variations of this note also. In a $10 note, the paper note comes with Commonwealth of Australia and Australia. Same deal as the $1 and $2 and $5 note. It's just I don't have any examples of Commonwealth of Australia to show you. And this was the $20 note, which was the biggest nomination we had for a little while until they released the $50 note. And this particular note was released in 1966 and it's nearly 60 years old. It's seen better days, but it's a senior note almost. So yeah, keep that. And this is the example of the Australia note. In 1988, Australia celebrated its bicentenary, means it was 200 years since Captain Cook arrived to Australia. Royal Australia Mint and CSIRO have been working on polymer notes for quite some time, and this was the commemorative note that was released. This is the first polymer note in the world. And they were trying it out and doing it to curb the counterfeiters. Very colorful and very unusual note to what we're used to in Australia. These are Australian $5 note variations. This note initially came out in 1966 with Commonwealth of Australia. From 1974 they had just Australia on it. Then in 1992 Australia was changing over from paper to polymer notes, and this was the $5 released in 92, and this is the pale color $5 note. So a lot of people complained about this note. They would confuse the colors of this note with a $10 note. So Royal Australia Mint decided to correct the issue, and in 1995 they reprinted that note with vivid colors, and that was the example of that. In 2001, Australia celebrated centenary of Federation. To commemorate the occasion, they released a commemorative $5 note, and this is it. You only went for 1 year. It's not easy to find nowadays, this note. And then in 2016, Royal Australia Mint improved its security features, and they released this generation of the polymer $5 note. So the next variation of the $5 note, I expect not to have Queen Elizabeth on it. It will be someone else. It's still in design, so we'll see it when it comes out. The number was pretty close to being something interesting. These are our $10 variations, except for I don't have Commonwealth of Australia to show you in the $10 paper. So $10 paper with Commonwealth of Australia came out in '66. This note variation of this note was released in '74. Then this first polymer note was released in '88. And then when Australia was changing over the paper to polymer notes, they released this $10, and there were different variations, like you could get a blue doorbell and a grey doorbell also. I don't have those variations, I'm just showing you what I have. Then in 2017, Australia was changing over their polymer notes to another generation to improve the security features. This note was released in $10. So these are the variations of Australian $20 note. As you can see, this one was released in 1966 and it has Commonwealth of Australia on it. It's 58 years old, so it's seen better days. Plus $20 was the highest nomination in Australia from 66 to 73. In 1973 released $50 note, and they changed over Commonwealth of Australia to Australia in 1973 also. Same note, it just says Australia instead of Commonwealth of Australia. Then in 1995, polymer note was released, and this was the example of that. And then in 2019, second generation of the polymer note came out, and this was that. This is the example of the Australian $50 note that went from 73 to 92. And this used to be highest nomination note until $100 was released. Then in 1995, we were swapping over the paper notes to polymer notes, and this was example of the $50 note. And then in 2018, second generation of the polymer knight came out, and this was the example of that. This is the infamous knight with the spelling mistakes. If you zoom in somewhere around about here, you can find the spelling mistake. In 1984, Australia released its first $100 note, and this was that. Then in 1996, changed over paper note to the first polymer note, and this was that. Yeah, the number on this note was pretty close to being a full Raider note. Would have been worth a lot more. And the second generation polymer note came out in 2019. I must admit these notes are not worth a lot of money. I'm just keeping it as a typeset for myself to look at whenever I feel like it. That's about it for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.